Hey guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies, bringing you the results of the 15k giveaway. Obviously, I've announced the winner of the 15k giveaway in 15,000 subscriber giveaway on a short the other day. But this video is going to be me painting up those Tartarus Terminators in the way that the winner wanted them to, which was Sons of Horus. We had a little bit of back and forth about what he wanted them to be equipped with and all those bits and pieces. So they were built to his specifications even. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to paint them up in the Sons of Horus scheme, ready to be shipped out to the winner, which is of course Owen Whelan. Congratulations, Owen, on winning the 15,000 subscriber giveaway. We are fast approaching the 20,000 subscriber mark, so I'm sure we'll have another cool giveaway very soon. Make sure that you are subscribed if you want to be entered into all future giveaways, and also throw this video a like to support me and the channel. Thank you guys so much, and let's get into the video. So these are the miniatures in question, the Tartarus Terminators. I got them all built up, like I said at the start. We had some discourse back and forth between me and the winner of the 15,000 subscriber giveaway. He wanted Power Fist and Combi Bolters. He wanted the Reaper autocannon, and he wanted a Chain Fist on the Sergeant. So I built them to his specifications. I got them sprayed black and then dusted grey. And then it was time to get into the painting. So I'm just going to treat this video as if you haven't seen any of my Sons of Horus videos before, and just go through the whole process again. It's slightly different on Terminators, but not by much. So I start with Terradon Turquoise, and I apply this to all of the armor panels of the Terminators. Some schemes require you to be super careful with your contrast placement, making sure that there's no pooling or streaking or anything like that. We are going to be layering up this armor further down the painting process. So if it's a little bit kind of blotchy, that's okay. All you're looking to do is lay down this really nice base coat to work from. Next, we're going to move over to the contrast Black Templar, and I'm just going to hit the left shoulder pad and the combi bolter with this. I'm going to hit the entire combi bolter because I'm going to come in with some metallics in a minute and hit the specific metallic parts that I want. But I want these guns to be quite dark. There's a consensus as to whether or not both shoulder pads should be black, no shoulder pads should be black. There's different examples of loads of different artwork. Maybe it's broken down by company or something inside the Sons of Horus that I don't know about. But when I was painting my own infantry, I did my left shoulder pads in black. So I'm just copying along with that. And here's a quick example of what I did with the Reaper autocannon. Left the barrels, you know, grey or whatever, and then did the entire rest of it with black, knowing that I would come in with the metallics later on and place them where I want them to be. So I used Iron Hand Steel as the base paint for my metallics. And I'm just going to quickly place the metallics on the bolt guns and any studs and stuff that are on the armor. There's not a lot of trim and stuff. There's some cabling that runs underneath his arms to power the power fists and stuff. So I hit that with a metallic as well, just to break up the amount of blue. If I'm being brutally honest, at the start of this process, Tartarus Terminators were my least favorite Terminator mark, and that's why they've been sitting in my collection for so long, and I decided to use them for a giveaway. During the process of building and painting them, I kind of wanted to keep them, but lesson learned. Retributor Armor Gold was then added to some trim pieces. All of the artwork had these two disc thingies done with gold. I wasn't a huge fan of this, if I'm being brutally honest, but it seems to be a very standard thing across all the Tartarus Terminators, and because these weren't my miniatures, I decided to stick to what the artwork kind of suggested, hoping that the winner will enjoy it. Obviously, you can paint over with a bit of Sons of Horus later on if he wants to. A quick example of the Sergeant of the squad obviously has a lot more trim, a lot more gold, and the other soldiers are a little bit more reserved. I then went for a Nolan Oil shade across the entire miniature like I did with all my other Sons of Horus. This is me once again attempting to use the new Nolan Oil shade, the much thinner version. I must admit that I am not enjoying it nearly as much as the old shades, and I'm going to have to try and find some form of workaround. I just don't find that it's giving me the shading that I want to have on my miniatures, or that I'm used to having from the old shades. But each to their own. I'm sure some people are really enjoying them. I'm just one of those people who is not. But nevertheless, we powered through and gave the entire model its coat of Nolan Oil. While this process is drying, this is normally in my videos where I would go through and base the miniature up as well. But as this miniatures are going to somebody else, I'm sure they're going to want to base it up to match their armies. So I'm going to leave them quite plain. I'm going to tie them up with some black paint later on, just for final shots. But as a whole, I will leave that to its new owner to add some color to. So now it's time for the longest process in painting up these miniatures, and that is now layering up the Sons of Horus green across the armor. This usually takes one coat on most of the areas, but I think that's big, and flat shoulder pads, that's big chest, these big legs on these guys, the power fist housing. In fact, most of the Tartarus Terminators will require you to go in with 2 thin coats to get a strong opaque color across all the armor. You're going to want to leave all of that really dark Tartan turquoise, black washed areas and all those recesses, just to give the armor some really nice contrasting colors. Like I said, this stage did take the longest by far. I think it was kind of an hour and a half for the 5 miniatures to get this coat of paint on it. So strap in and take your time. I know this particular cutting mat I'm using is probably not the best idea to be holding these Sons of Horus miniatures against, as they kind of blend in a little bit, but that's okay. It's then time to start layering up some of the other pieces across the miniatures. So we're going to go back to our Iron Hand Steel, and we're going to touch up all of the metallics. So that includes all of the studs in the armors, the bolt gun, kind of the barrel, the clip, the shoulder part, all those kind of bits and pieces. And then I'm also going to use this silver color to add a touch of a highlight to all of the gold across all of the miniatures. This is just a quick kind of scratch highlight effect, nothing too crazy. It's basically just this super quick way of highlighting all the metallics in one step. As you can see, the miniatures don't have a lot of gold on them, so this stage here, well, the last stage took an hour and a half. This took maybe 2 or 3 minutes to do across all of the 5 miniatures. So as you can see, I'm just going to stab the gold a little bit of light stippling, just to add the metallic sheen to it, and it highlights it beautifully. I'm going to jump to the Sergeant here in a second just to show you an example of what that highlight is doing. So you can see the bottom half of the chest is highlighted and the top half of the chest and shoulder pads are not highlighted. So you can see the difference there that the silver highlight does make to the gold. It does actually make it pop quite a bit, and it's a really nice and simple effect. Sergeant model really is really nice. Next, we're going to move over to Corvus Black, and I'm going to use this to highlight any and all black parts of the miniatures. So that is really just the combi bolter casing and the black flat shoulder panel. Just go in here, leaving the contrast black as the shaded area, and just hit all of those flat raised areas with the Corvus Black. I like using Corvus Black to highlight black, as it's got a touch of grey to it, and it just makes it look a lot less flat, as that single coat of black tends to do. As you can see with the shoulder pad, you are going to hit the majority of the pad with the Corvus Black. I'm just going to leave the bit that's closer to the body as like a kind of a black edge to it. Last but not least, we're going to use contrast Blood Angels Red for the eye sockets. When we did the Iron Hand Steel layer job, we also painted all of the eye lenses on the helmets with silver. This means that when we go back over and hit it with Blood Angels Red contrast, it gives you these beautiful glowing red eyes. After that, I just blacked out all of the bases just to keep them neat and tidy, and added some Sons of Horus transfers to the shoulder pads. And then these miniatures are now ready to be posted off to the winner of the 15,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm quite pleased with how they turned out. I really hope the recipient is also super pleased with them. Like I've said, we're kind of encroaching on the 20,000 mark quickly. And I'm sure we'll have another really interesting giveaway then. All you ever need to be to enter into my giveaways is to be subscribed to the channel and comment under the giveaway videos when I do them. So make sure that you do subscribe to my channel now. Okay guys, and there we have it. 5 Tartarus Terminators painted up in the Sons of Horus scheme. I'm quite pleased with how they turned out. I was quite jealous that I'm now going to have to pack these up and ship them off to somebody else. They would look quite good nestled in with my fast growing Sons of Horus army, but a deal is a deal. So Mr. Wilson, these will be packaged up and shipped off to you in the next day or two. Thank everybody who entered the competition. I think we had over 1,000 entrants by the end of it all. So you're also quite lucky, Mr. Whelan, for the win. If you're enjoying the channel, make sure, like I said at the start of this video, you are subscribed. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions about anything I did at the competition or how I painted these miniatures, drop it in the comments below and I will get back to each and every one of you guys. And if you see a revalue in what I do and want to support me and help me make bigger and better videos and help the channel grow, there's links to things like my Patreon below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.